You're listening to Beast Over Burden, powered by Barbell Logic.
We're Niki and Andrew, your personal professional coaches.
We help you take control of your fitness through hard but doable training and nutrition practices that fit your busy life.
Build a stronger, healthier version of yourself with lifelong habits. Hey. Welcome to Beast Over Burden, powered by Barbell Logic. I'm your host, Niki Sims. This is your other host, Andrew Jackson.
Hello. Happy Monday.
It is Monday. It was a fun football day over the weekend. Pretty
good weekend, yeah.
Yeah, this is the weekend when the Chiefs lost to the Eagles, which was awesome.
It's fun to watch. I enjoy it a lot.
Yep.
Surprisingly satisfying to watch.
Love
Mahomes get sacked.
Well, we probably just lost a few people with that intro, but oh well, you got to be true to yourself.
And the Lions win.
And a Lions win. Yeah.
It's good for you.
What did one of the announcers say? Dropped a 50 burger or something?
Yeah. Sports ball.
Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We don't have a sports podcast. We have a lifting podcast. And kicking off a new series.
Mm-hmm.
This one is going to be different. You are going to hear from a lot of new people because we are doing an interview series with a coach and their client sharing a special story. And I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm just laughing at the idea of new people as if they're
We are forming them.
Just birthed, or are they
new voices?
Different voices, yes.
You haven't heard from many of these voices. This will be cool. Team of coaches, their clients. I think you're going to be on with one of your clients, right?
I don't know.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Cool.
I'm going to have one of mine on. Niki's going to be on. So as we get ready to hear about those stories, I thought it'd be an interesting kicking off point to talk about why we coach. We've been doing this for many years now.
Some moons.
And the way our business model works, that means we coach usually every single day. And it's been, at least with Barbell Logic, and it was called something different. It's inception in 2016, but that is 9 years. Coming up on 9 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Of coaching every single day, unless we take a vacation or have a holiday.
Which is rare.
Yeah. So that means you have to really enjoy it, but also have to find a good way to manage your work practices around it to make it sustainable. And I think we've done that through our business practices, and you've helped us model that even more through TKC. But why do you wake up and maybe I shouldn't ask, why do you wake up and get excited about coaching? Because that might not always be the case, but what do you enjoy about it?
Why did you start coaching?
Why did I start coaching?
Mm-hmm.
I started coaching because I really liked doing CrossFit, and I wanted to just be immersed in whatever way I could end up being. So in what I was into at the time, which was CrossFit. And then that turned into more of a focus eventually on strength training. Like I've said before, CrossFit leads to competitive CrossFit, injury, or some sort of barbell-centric sport. And I went to that one. And I wanted to learn more about coaching strength training.
Did you enjoy coaching? Or,
I
mean, you called yourself a coach when you were doing CrossFit classes, right?
Yeah, I told people what to do.
And what was it that you enjoyed about it?
I loved being the DJ and subjecting everybody to LCD sound system almost every day. Just kidding. I loved the group of people doing something that was really challenging and getting to encourage them. I liked to teach them. I liked to see them be happy around each other and to push themselves. It was a fun community space, and you really would see people change. They would do things they never thought they could do. They would get stronger. They would get leaner. They would get faster. And it became a really great experience to share with other humans, more so than, working together or going to school together. It was people paid to be there. And I was their fitness Sherpa. And so, yeah, I really liked that. And then when it came to honing in on barbell coaching, it felt like I really could give people clear instruction that would lead to them getting stronger. And that's really satisfying to actually have tools to objectively make a difference. What about you?
Why do I coach?
Why did you get into coaching?
I started with CrossFit as well, although I've been playing sports my whole life and had coaches as long as I can remember. My first coach was my dad, and
Soccer?
soccer
Okay.
is probably what I would say is my first coached sport. AYSO, soccer, and then baseball, basketball. He coached me in all of those sports at some point. I can remember coming home frustrated from third or fourth grade basketball practice.
Oh,
and I was mad because I didn't feel like we were doing anything useful. We weren't doing any drills. It was just
so
like...
it sounds like the way you were in third and fourth grade is the same as how you are now.
So I remember coming home and complaining to my dad, and so he basically took over the team.
Oh my gosh.
And had us running drills. And it was partly probably because I had worked with him and we had done drills, because he was a basketball coach. He coached high school basketball. He was a math teacher, but he also would do basketball coaching. And I would always be in the locker room hiding. It was actually, there was one funny, well, wasn't funny at the moment, but I was hiding in a locker as a little kid, looking through the slits of the locker.
Oh my gosh.
While he was giving the halftime speech to his team.
Who were how old?
High school kids.
Oh, right. Yes.
And they were not doing well. And he was, by today's standard, you would call it probably unhinged. By 80s high school sports coach, it was
the norm.
Totally normal, and it was a level of rage and anger that I had never seen, from my dad before. But anyway, so I was always around coach sports and expected that as a third and fourth grader in my basketball team to be doing drills and like have specific warm-ups and plays that you were running and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, played sports all growing up, always around coaches. They've always been very influential people in my life. And so I think that has a lot to do with what I value and am drawn towards. It makes sense to me that it was sort of a natural next step, as once I found the process of strength training and barbell training, and I just kept wanting to learn more and more and more and understand it more, that eventually I got to a point where I wanted to coach. And partly, I think, specific to barbell training was the transformational effect that I think strength training has. The company that I started before I was part of Barbell Logic was called Integral Barbell, which is sort of an homage to my dad being a calculus teacher. He was also my high school calculus teacher. And the symbol is the integral symbol, sort of like a S, which is also sort of a snake, which is also a transformative creature in mythology. And then going across the integral symbol is the barbell, because the integral is also a transformative mathematical function. And so that was sort of the meaning behind the business that I started, was that I believe and have experienced many times that strength training and barbell training in particular has a transformative effect on people's lives when they experience getting stronger. And I love, as a coach, as I got into it, the experience of those moments where you are able to change somebody's experience of strength training for the better in a way where it seems to me that they perceive you almost having magical powers because you understand what most people don't understand, which is the biomechanics of lifting or this process of strength training, or what it is that you're actually doing mechanically. When you can identify and help somebody make a change in the way they move or the way they program their training, and it enables them, like you said, to do something that they never thought possible. I just love those moments. It's one of the rare parts of life where I've experienced that the person you're working with is surprised by how effective you can be.
Yeah, that does feel really good.
Every professional experience, we've talked about this with my buddy Galen, high school friend, talks about how the culture of work is essentially disappointed dad. Like every meeting, every work meeting or customer experience is always baseline disappointed dad. And
Brutal.
it's kind of depressing that you
Mhm.
just go through life constantly disappointing somebody. And it's always as if no matter how good you are or how hard you work, it's never good enough.
It could have been this way that we projected with our spreadsheets.
In hindsight,
Mhm.
we think it could have been.
And we think that if you only had more revenue, everything would be solved. So please
It's
do that.
always amazing to me. And I certainly experienced it in the corporate world, and it's starting to come back even at Barbell Logic now that we're getting closer to being a bigger company. There's a little bit of that energy coming back into the equation.
Yeah.
And it does sometimes happen with coaching. Once you cast a certain number of spells as a magician, as a coach, strength coach, magician, that sort of becomes the baseline for some people. And then all of a sudden, if you can't continue adding 100 pounds to their squat, then you're failing
Someone else
them.
can do it better, and
Right,
I'm
right.
disappointed.
Yeah. But by and large, the people that I work with and the people that enjoy working with me are extremely appreciative. And that's just really fun to be.
Yeah.
It's been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done personally or professionally is to help people improve the quality of their life. I mean, it happens so much now that I sometimes do catch myself being almost numb to it. You know, it used to be like, oh my gosh, I at least helped completely change this person's outlook on their life. And that was like this mind-blowing thing. And now it kind of happens a lot.
It does happen a lot. It's really nice. That must be one of the big reasons why we keep doing it.
Yes.
You know, there are so many, I mean, yeah, work is work. And there are a lot of parts of my job where I just don't feel like I've done anything. In fact, I've probably made people's lives worse.
With work?
I sometimes feel that way. But with coaching, I feel that less. I feel like I'm contributing in a useful way.
Wow, less. Yeah, I definitely, like you said, we're working pretty much 7 days a week. I might take a Sunday off here and there, and I usually regret it because that just means more work on Monday.
I took kind of Sunday off yesterday, and it was a bit of a beating today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so much different of a feeling to check in with my clients on Sunday for 15 or 30 minutes or 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Than it was when I had to do the same thing in the corporate world to respond to emails about disappointed dad stuff.
Yep.
It's like, oh, me working 7 days a week means, I'm checking in to see how somebody did on their workout where they hit a lifetime PR.
Yeah.
Or they're dealing with some sort of injury that I'm helping them work around and they had a breakthrough or they had a rough day and I'm there to support them. So it's just rewarding on such a different level.
Yeah.
And I keep coming back to it. Even when I'm working on the software,
Yeah.
it's so nice to keep coming back to the why. We talk about the why from a lifting perspective. The why from a work perspective is so much more rewarding than anything I've ever worked on. I mean, I have worked on some very life-changing products in the past, like cochlear ear implants.
Yeah.
It was always once a year, rewarding and a good reminder to go watch the videos of people hearing for the first time.
Incredible.
That was always a good grounding why moment. But I find this still to be significantly better than any other experience, or I should say coaching specific to this conversation.
Yeah, I have a friend, she works in marketing and she has to sometimes she has to market for Coca-Cola. And she's like, this does not satisfy my soul at all.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel grateful that the end user of what we deliver is a human whose life improves.
Right.
And that is the core of, that's purpose. That feels like purpose to me. Yeah. Helping someone experience their physicality and make them experience life differently and, have like when someone has a built up desire and passion for change to help them figure out how to do that is really cool.
Yep.
Because I know what that feels like. Just be like, I'm ready. Like I have all the drive, like I have time, I have money, I have resources. Like, how do I do this? And then to, find someone to actually help you do that in a systematic way is just like really big rewarding.
I like that moment too, where they have it's aha moment or it clicks when the initial thing that gets a lot of people excited is seeing the number go up on the bar. But then there's usually a moment somewhere in that first 12 to 18 months where they see it connect to their life, that it's not just an abstract number of pounds or kilos. It's their back doesn't hurt, or they see themselves in a new way, that they're able to do something that they couldn't do before, or they're able to enjoy something that they couldn't enjoy before, or they have a totally different vision for the rest of their life. I mean, I was just talking with a client that I've referred to in the past here who sent me a message that when we first started working together, he kind of had this image of the way the rest of his life was going to be. And it was kind of this not great outlook. He was not quite depressed, but he sort of had this grim acceptance that things were just going to be kind of a downward spiral. He was only in his 50s.
Like planning to just be able to do less.
To do less, to be in more pain, kind of spend the rest of that time, that next 40 some odd years, 30, 40 years, sort of suffering in a gradually withering and degrading capability way. And since working together, we've been able to reduce pain. He's able to do things better than he was before. And now he thinks about the next 20, 30 years in a totally different way. That's the kind of transformative effect that I think barbell training and strength training can have, and it's the experience I've had on my own life. And it's, like you said, rewarding to help other people experience that.
Yeah. I think it's a Socrates quote.
Socrates?
Socrates. It's Socrates. About how you would just really be missing out if you didn't understand your own strength or your physicality. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
That's not the quote, but I think I know what you're talking about.
He basically says it's rad when you're strong. And don't miss out on that because it's too bad.
The quote I'm thinking of is that he describes it, I think, as almost like a requirement to experience a fully, expressed life.
Yeah.
Or that it's a tragedy not to.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's a tragedy not to. I agree.
Yeah, I'm wrestling this with Clara, my daughter. It's very difficult. She's 15. We're just mentally wired a very different way.
Yeah.
She does not seem to be drawn to exercise. Not that she's opposed to it. It's just not the thing that she puts high on her list. Whereas, by this point in my life at 15, I had played every sport under the sun competitively. And it was like my why of life. And I just want so badly for her to know the limits of her physical body, what she's capable of, to know how to experience the process of adaptation and change. And it's such an important part of understanding the world and how to operate within it. I believe that knowing how to change your body, how to have enough of an understanding of the process of adaptation to influence how much muscle mass you have, how much strength you have, and not feel like you're just at the whim of whatever's happening. I couldn't imagine what my worldview would be. And I think it's a common worldview that you are totally out of control of how your body changes, what it looks like, how it feels, your energy level.
Yeah.
And I think most people go through life feeling like their body's happening to them. It's
Yeah.
just like, I guess I'll wake up tomorrow and see.
Then I'll be mad that I've gained weight or something.
Yeah, like, well, the scale just keeps going up and I have no idea what to do, how to fix that. I just keep getting weaker. And it's not to say that doesn't, I just tried warming up my deadlift on Saturday and had an intercostal strain.
Yeah.
And so I guess things like that do still keep happening.
It's kind of like the cost of having a body.
But my response to it is, oh, well, that's what happened now. Let's see. How can I modify the rest of my workout?
Just leave the gym.
No, I had a little moment of a little tantrum, which was me just pacing a couple times. And then I was like, okay, well, time to go find the next exercise I can do. And
we did belt squats together. It was super fun.
Did belt squats and know that I will get through that day and it's going to be kind of exhausting, which it was, but I will work through it because I've done it many times. And so I think it's such a critical thing to know how to do in life. And I love helping people learn it. And it's sad that it's not more commonly understood. It's kind of surprising to me. It keeps being surprising that it's not normal physical education.
Yeah.
That we are still magicians to a degree, There's another quote, I can't remember, where it's like, if you were to show somebody from 200 years ago normal technology, they would think you were a magician. Technology is no different than magic without understanding. And somehow, with as much information that we have about how the body works, the vast majority of people have no idea how to train, how to get stronger. It's a bit sad, but hey, I'm pretty excited that I get to make a living out of it.
Me too. Yeah, I am. Yeah, we talk about what we're going to do when we retire. We'd be like, well, we could still keep coaching.
I consider myself retired.
That is pretty neat.
I refer to the Naval quote that one is retired when they spend their time how they choose or how they wish to. And I think ever since I left the corporate world, I do consider myself retired in that sense. I would like to work less, I would say, but I love what I do. This is probably some version of this is probably what I would do if I had all the time in the world. I feel less constrained by my work than I do by parenting.
Yeah.
That's way more of a constraint than my job, which I wouldn't have said 5-6 years ago.
That's interesting.
I would go days without seeing Clara.
Yeah, you were working many, many, many hours.
Yeah. And I had to be in a specific spot, specific time to sit in a specific meeting and listen to my disappointed dad.
Now you get to be the disappointed dad on Zoom calls.
I am the disappointed dad.
Yep. On and off Zoom. Just talking about how disappointed you were about Claire.
I am disappointed that my daughter is not lifting weights with me every day. Wah, wah.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I also really enjoy getting to do it online for that freedom aspect. And because I get to just know so many more people for longer.
So much longer. Yeah. How long would you work with somebody when you were at your CrossFit gym? Like, what was a long membership?
Man, probably, I think we only owned it for like 3 years or something. I don't know. So obviously no longer than that, but I think I don't remember what our churn was, but I don't know, 6 months.
Yeah, on average.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I have like maybe half of my clients I've worked with for 1,000 workouts.
Easily.
Yeah. Which is years. That's many years.
Yeah, I think it averages out 5, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Depending on whether they're a nutrition client or on a 4-day split or a 3-day split. But yeah, usually somewhere around the 4 or 5 year mark.
Yeah. Just neat because like their name pops into my feed 3 or 4 times a week. It was really cool. And I pop into their head 3 to 4 times a week, y'all. Excited to see. I'm still excited to watch their friggin' deadlifts. I still get excited.
Only the deadlifts, though.
No, and man, people who make a squat look like fun, that's enjoyable.
And jealous of it.
Yeah. Like, dang. Yeah, you're selling that.
I think it's interesting to work with somebody that long because you go through so many learning or transformation cycles. I think people are most familiar with the linear progression phase, the first 6 to 18 months where things are just kind of going up to the right. And you sort of hit these plateaus around that kind of intermediate phase. And I think one of the biggest differences since we started 6 years ago was how much better we are at managing the first plateau. But there's a second and a third and a fourth. And it's so cool. I have a couple of clients happening right now where they're breaking through to another plateau. And we solved some problem,
Yeah.
whether it was in programming or in their recovery, or maybe they just, whatever. We cracked code 3, 4, 5 years. These are almost 1,000 or over 1,000 workout clients that we still get those little transformation moments, which is really interesting and again, rewarding that you don't just add 5 pounds for 6 months and then, okay, I see you later. There's more opportunity to solve problems that are specific to that individual that enable them to keep progressing. That's been a surprising aspect of it. And, you change as a coach too.
Right. You learn more and more. Mm-hmm. Learn what doesn't work, learn what does work, learn more of the right questions to ask, the things that really matter.
Get better at anticipating.
Yep. Yeah. Way more proactive changes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to go into the series. I'm excited to ask other coaches some of these questions and to hear what it's been like for their clients on these really cool journeys. And
yeah, we're recording our first one tomorrow.
I don't remember, but potentially, yes. I think so. Yes, you are right. In fact,
not tomorrow by listener time, but correct. In real time.
Yeah, in our tomorrow.
Interviewing Chrissy, Coach Gilby, formerly Marbles.
Yep. Our client Lisa. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Excited to share this with you all.
Bye-bye.